Welcome to the lesson. You're about to learn how to use the past perfect to talk about new experiences. Remember, the past perfect is made with had, not, if it's negative, plus the past participle, and with this meaning, it's very common to use the preposition before. Have you met Ben?
How you doing?
A few years ago, he got his first job at a shoe store. As it was his first job, he did many things for the first time. For example, he helped a customer. He used a cash register. And he cleaned a store. All of these things were brand new experiences in his life. Let's look at how to talk about these using the past perfect. Here is the grammatical structure. First, we put the subject, then the verb phrase, which begins with the auxiliary verb had, then the negative particle not. Actually, with this meaning, it is more common to use never instead of not. This makes your meaning stronger. Plus the past participle, then comes the object, and finally the preposition before. However, before is optional. Take a look at our first example. He used a cash register for the first time. In our new sentence, the subject will stay the same, he. Now the verb phrase, had never used, and the object, a cash register, and finally, before. This gives us the sentence, he had never used a cash register before. Now, our next example. The verb is cleaned. This becomes, he had never cleaned a store before. And in our final example, the verb is helped.
What are you, nuts?
This becomes, he had never helped the customer before. A few months later, Ben met a girl named Jen.
Hello.
They ended up dating for a while, and finally getting married. At the wedding, they each had many new experiences. Ben wore a tuxedo for the first time. Jen walked down the aisle. And they went on a honeymoon. Here's how we would talk about these experiences using the past perfect. Ben had never worn a tuxedo before. Jen had never walked down the aisle before. And they had never gone on a honeymoon before. I have a surprise for you. More grammar! Try not to get too excited. Instead of using before at the end of the phrase, it's common to use this structure. Before, plus a clause in the past simple, and then a clause in the past perfect. For example, before he got married, Ben had never worn a tuxedo. Before she got married, Jen had never walked down the aisle. And finally, before Ben and Jen got married, they had never gone on a honeymoon. Surprise, surprise, surprise. A few months later, Jen was pregnant.
Aww.
What a life-changing experience. She had a pregnancy glow for the first time. She lived with very little sleep. And she changed a diaper.
Ew.
Now it's time to see these new experiences written in the past perfect. Before she got pregnant, Jen had never had a pregnancy glow. Before she had a baby, Jen had never lived with very little sleep. And finally, before she had a baby,
Ew.
Jen had never changed a diaper. It's that time again. Time to practice what you've learned. What you need to do is write a sentence talking about the new experiences given using before plus the past simple, then a clause in the past perfect. For example, Johnny went to the zoo.
Boy!
For the first time in his life, he saw an elephant. This becomes, before Johnny went to the zoo, he had never seen an elephant. Now, here are your questions. Good luck. The answers will appear after the timer finishes counting down. Here are your answers. Before Masha went to St. Petersburg, she had never gone to the Hermitage. Before Maria bought a dog, she had never had a pet. Before Marie visited Quebec City, she had never eaten poutine. Before Mary went to Mexico City, she had never flown on a plane. And finally, before Miriam's dad bought her a car, she had never driven. If you would like more practice, click on the link in the description to visit my website. There's a printable handout there with more questions and answers. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.